Nahida. You already...
Would there have been a point? You would have spent the night with new worries, with tomorrow still out of reach. In that case, you might as well rest within that brief moment of hope. An opportunity like that doesn't...
Paimon thought that Duke did that!
Of course. In the time we've been together, you two have been everything to me.
Paimon's flattered and everything, but maybe you're taking things a little fast.
What I mean is, even though I had asked you to solve this puzzle, you two are still the only ones who can see me and sense my presence. In other words, if you weren't here, I may as well not exist. That's why you two have been everything to me.
Nahida's talking about confusing stuff again.
Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. So, Traveler, did the new clues yesterday help you gain a new understanding of the situation?
Huh? Why are you scrapping your previous theory? Oh, yeah! You're right! Gosh, how did we not notice that? And
so, what's your new hypothesis?
We've already experienced the Sub-Zero. The moon illusion. That doesn't sound right. I need to carefully... The beep is a prompt tone for a... That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. Mercenaries rely heavily... If all our memories of a day are erased at the end of that day, then we would unwittingly relive the same day again and again.
Oh, then the beep we hear every night could just be indicating the deletion of our memories. That's why when we wake up, everyone thinks the Sub-Zero's festival hasn't happened yet. It's already the next day, but everyone still thinks it's the day before. But muscle memory can't be erased. That's why Dia has been getting better at using her greatsword. Now everything makes sense.
A brilliant deduction.
Nahida, tell us if we're right or wrong.
To put it simply, it's as if you've mistaken a pyro crystal fly for a firefly in the night. You lost sight of its true nature because you focused too much on your perception that it glows.
That isn't simple at all!
Why don't you go talk to Miss Dia again? You might learn something new.
Right! She did help us find her lead.
There you are. Really took me a while to find you.
As expected, Dia also didn't get hurt today.
Get hurt? Why would I? Don't underestimate me.
Well, you're still getting used to your new greatsword.
Huh. Truth be told, I also think it's pretty strange. It just suddenly felt so familiar in my hands and... wait a second! How did you know I got a new greatsword to begin with?
Traveler, could you explain the situation to her today? Paimon's gotten a little sick of doing it. Oh, that works!
What happened to you guys while I was gone? Did you get brainwashed by some cult?
Don't think too hard about it. Just take what we're saying at face value.
Alright then, let me get this straight. You're telling me that my body's already gotten used to this greatsword, but my brain just doesn't remember it?
Yes, your memory's being erased every day!
Then I'd have to disagree. That's impossible.
Oh? Why do you think that?
If we've actually been reliving the Sumeru's festival day after day, then what happened to the things we used, the money we spent, the food we ate? Common sense says my wallet should have emptied itself a long time ago. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed that.
Right! They could use the Akasha to record what everyone did that day, and then use the city's resources to replenish everything! It's not very likely, but it's also not impossible.
No, it is impossible. I've got proof.
You have proof? Where?
You two are surprisingly serious about this nonsensical discussion. Fine, I'll play along for a lip. Come with me, Miss Dunyarzad. Please come along as well. I still can't guarantee that this area is safe.
Paimon can't believe it's Dia who wants to show us something this time. 2 days ago, we were the ones taking her to see Dunyarzad.
This is it.
Huh? This is a wooden training dummy.
See those marks on the dummy? Those are the result of several days' worth of practice. Let's say the sages didn't replace it.
That's true, but what if they did?
Then the sages would have had to reproduce every mark I left during previous training sessions. I'm a professional fighter. My martial school has always emphasized the importance of force, angle, and entry point of each strike is calculated and deliberate. That's why I remember every mark on the dummy. As it's just as they say. Each sword's...
Is it really impossible?
People often say that a camera's photo can never replace. The same thing applies here. At a mere glance, I can differentiate carved marks from the results of combat training. Whew, I hope that cleared things up for you. Anyway, it's getting late. I should escort Miss Dunyarzad to Nilu's stage. See you later.
Well, back to square one. Is our memory deletion theory also wrong? But at least we've reached some other conclusions in the meantime. Yep, that's true. So... strange? Paimon feels like everything's been strange lately. Huh? Leaving the city? You're right! It's really strange how we never thought of such a simple solution! Paimon can't believe it! Did we miss this because we're tunnel visioning too hard on our other theories? Or because we're just too tired? How about we go back and ask Nahida? Maybe we've forgotten something about leaving the city.
Back early today. Did you find something new?
Sort of. We're mostly sure now that we're not in a time loop. And we also...
leaving the city. As far as I remember, you've mentioned your plans to do that twice before.
We did? But we don't remember anything. What happened after we talked about those plans? What did we say when we got back?
Let me think. I don't think you ever actually told me what the outcome was. Oh, it's probably more accurate to say that both times you never came back the whole night. But you two sometimes stay out the entire night anyway, so at the time, I didn't think too much about it.
It is true that sometimes we lose track of time during our investigations. Before we know it, it'll already be the next day.
Really? That's kinda strange. In theory...
Yep. Something here's definitely fishy. Let's get to the bottom of this tomorrow. Our memories are back! About that... Well, where should Paimon begin?
Traveler, aside from your memories that were just restored, I have another message for you. Listen to it and you'll understand.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zero's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Traveler, you should be missing 2 days worth of memories. Paimon will fill you in. It's time to carry out our plan from yesterday. Okay,
Why can't we leave the city? What is the academia up to now?
Don't ask me. It's not like I can tell you anything.
I have a real
That's your problem. Make sure you make a request in advance next time.
But it's not like you can just predict business matters in advance.
It looks like the Academia already announced a lockdown for Sumeru City today. Let's go and question them. Hello, sir. Why can't we leave the city today?
Here we go again. Don't ask me. I don't know either. We just received an order that no one is allowed to enter or exit Sumeru today. They didn't tell us anything else. Angering me won't get you anywhere.
It looks like he really doesn't know. If we can't get anything out of him, let's take matters into our own hands. This is a good spot, and the guard had... Huh? Why? Are you going to leave Paimon behind? But... What if things get really weird out there and you get into some trouble? Paimon knows... Okay. Promise Paimon that you'll come back as... And please... Memories! Traveler! Paimon would never see you again! You just disappeared! Paimon waited for you for hours and hours at the city wall and you never came back! You promised Paimon that you...
Paimon, calm down. He's here now. I don't think he understood what you were saying.
Paimon doesn't care! Paimon wanted to go look for you, but you also said that Paimon should stay! Paimon was so worried and so scared the entire day! Okay. Paimon will forgive you. The most important thing is that you didn't actually disappear. Paimon was so scared that you had gone into another world.
Okay, Paimon, can you tell us your perspective of what really happened yesterday? I see. Using two people's different perspectives.
After that, you left the city. Paimon kept her eyes on you the whole time, but then you disappeared in an instant. No way! Paimon was watching you with the fullest attention.
What's your perspective, Traveler? You sure you don't have any memory of this? I guess that explains everything. You also lost your memories the last 2 times you tried to leave the city. Those days' memories can't be awoken.
So, if we leave the city, our memories will be completely erased? It really sounds like something big outside of the city is being hidden on purpose. But this way, we'll also never discover what's outside! Something like a message? But how can we send it back?
Don't look at me like that. I'm not used to being stared at. Well... Okay. You want something that can pass on messages, right? Give me some time and take care of Dunyar's out for me.
Yep, now we're talking!
I'm done. Here you go.
What? Isn't this just an Akasha terminal?
You made some little changes. Akasha terminals are already capable of sending messages. I just tweaked it so that it could connect to any node.
To make something like this? Nahida, you really know the Akasha like the back of your hand. Anyway, we can use this now to record a message, right?
Yep. I'll help you save the messages. It should be pretty easy to use. I just can't guarantee the user's status and signal coverage when they're outside the city.
We'll never know until we try. At least, let's go then. Let's expose those sages. All right. Okay. See, covers everything that's happened so far.
Yes. Although the signal was choppy and had some interference, we still managed to receive 2 messages from you when you were outside.
Okay, now that you understand what's going on, let's hear the messages together.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zeru's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them. I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. Impossible and surreal sights. All these spaces are empty except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people. I can't sense any human presence.
That's one heck of an info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru city space when you set foot outside of the walls. But everything looked completely normal when Paimon was looking out from the inside. That's unbelievable. And if we take your word for it, the other spaces all had very weird contents.
There's another part here. I only received it last night.
These spaces have been disappearing one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky. And now, even the final space has also disappeared. Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now. Those spaces are actually...
Why did the message end right there? What did the Traveler want to say? What are those spaces?
Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment.
Oh, right. Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha. Did it come from here or from the message?
The message. It should have come from the Traveler's Akasha terminal.
After the beep, Traveler said even the final spaces also disappeared.
Traveler, what do you think that final space could have been?
Was that space actually the real world? That doesn't sound right. I need... All the bizarre spaces... That doesn't sound right. My impression is that each day in this samsara...
Oh, so that's what it is! After the sound of the beep, the final space, the Sub-Zeru's festival, also disappears, and we're taken to the next day. Later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces materializing behind them. Paimon's head is spinning.
Well, consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, it was just a game where a bunch of gods fought over 7 seats. So no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end is a small and simple secret.
Wow, the Archon War, huh? That's... Hey! Where are you going?
Tutuloy na si Nalito. Sa malaman niya sa... Kaya ito, pagod mo. Sakit ka na, boy. Pagod mo sa tao ulit.
The dance of Sub-Zeros is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, Dunyarzad? We still have some other stuff to do first.
Okay then. See you later.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is ticking. Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know. Oh, wait.
Ano sabihin siya, no?
You're back! I've been waiting forever for you two. Are you ready to take your Sub-Zero's exam and graduate from the festival? Okay. First off, have you discovered the hidden truth?
People in Sumeru don't dream. What? Okay, Nahida said the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people. That doesn't sound right. The moon, a lute. We've already experienced the Sub-Zero's festival All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human... Those spaces remind me of... That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human... We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream. Rather, the Akasha is taking their dreams from them.
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, but the truth is the Akasha steals their dreams without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so weird when he was trying to describe them. Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after all. In fact, we're all in one big dream together right now.
Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this? It compiles the wisdom of the... It is the manifestation of... The Akasha relies on the power of a no... And it grants knowledge...
That doesn't sound right.
And it grants knowledge...
That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right.
Oh, okay. Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the Dendro Archon, right? That, like, is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom? Isn't there anything more to it than that?
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom.
So, in other words, the complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions, and the fact that no one dreams is a blessing from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So it was all a dirty trick? The real story is that the sages from the academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use, huh?
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
The Grand Sage said, "Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content." Did he mean something more? That doesn't sound right. Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized. The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. That doesn't sound right. The Grand Sage said, "We've already experienced..." That doesn't sound right. Those dreamscapes kept
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sub-Zero's festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival. The dreams that belong to them are once again harvested by the Akasha.
So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream harvesting machine. Did Paimon get that analogy right?
Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an excellent habit to get into.
Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this dream doesn't do anything.
All right, last question. Who am I?
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon's divine revelation. So then, if Nahida has referred to herself as the moon...
So you noticed. I thought that one would be hardest question. That's why I put it last.
That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. We just didn't want to expose you is all. Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since the very beginning. It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Paimon didn't expect to meet you like this.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about here and now. Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality. People have already experienced this Sub-Zero's festival, so it would be very... Secondly, you're probably what... That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the time anyway. So whenever they wake up in this dream of the Sub-Zero's festival, they don't remember anything from their previous identical dream.
That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia Forest, but couldn't see what it was about after waking up. Is that an example of what...
Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro element. Meanwhile, everyone else has no idea that they are in the Sub-Zero's festival.
Can humans really keep dreaming?
We might say your mental fatigue, especially those whose health is
People's lives are at stake here, and nobody knows a thing! We've got to put a stop to this!
I know, right? Why did they have to base this dream on my birthday? Could it really just be a coincidence?
Even you don't know the reason?
What? The Academia sages are determined to harvest lots of dreams in a short time, no matter the cost. Traveler, do you have any information?
The Grand Sage said,
Celebrate the birth of that god? Could it mean... You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense. Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't... That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing. Deceiving the people of Sumeru with no regard after we end the Sub-Zero's festival.
How can the sages...
In the end, I'm just the moon. The real sun.
A sun and a moon? Nahida's talking in riddles again. Oh, we're out of time today.
I'll tell you how to break free of the samsara tomorrow. See you then.